School forces boys to apologize to girls for forced intimacy committed by their gender. He said that he was made to stand up and basically apologize. It wasn't explained properly to the male students what they were doing or why they were doing it, one mother said. Hello and welcome to The Ordeal. If you're new to my channel, thanks for stopping by. I really do appreciate everyone stopping by, whether you're new or not. But for the new people out there, I challenge all things woke. So if you want to stand up against the woke agenda that is infiltrating the entire world, especially the Western world, that says men are evil and especially white men are evil, then keep coming back. So like, comment, and share. First, I need to issue an apology. Apparently, there was a misunderstanding in my previous video on the Dear Daddy video. And this is where the confusion came in. I said it was an Australian video, and right here it says, by Care Australia. That's where I was taking my information from. But apparently, the company that produced the video is actually Norwegian here. So Care Norway did the Dear Daddy video. And it was in English. It says Australia right here. So I assumed it was Australian. I do apologize for any mistake that I made in regards to which country that video is supposed to represent. But this article here does actually refer to Australia. So right here, we have schoolboys who are being told that they need to apologize for things that they didn't do just because they are the wrong gender. Now, hey, if you want equality, then let's do it. Let's have girls stand up and apologize to all of the unfair treatment they've given to boys, all the unfair treatment they're going to give to men, all the things that they are going to do to men that they can do that men cannot do to women. But right here we can see this is Brauer College, a secondary school in Australia. So secondary school, I'm going to assume that what they mean is middle school. I don't know for sure what exactly they're referring to, because it could be lots of different school levels. So they held an assembly on Wednesday forcing male students to apologize to female students for forced intimacy committed by their gender. Parents were infuriated by the assembly, as they should be, as everybody should be. This is ridiculous. You shouldn't apologize for things that you have not done. Mother of a son in year 7, so that's junior high school, middle school, approximately 12 years old, reported that her son was confused and didn't understand why he was apologizing to his classmates for forced intimacy and intimate assault. The apology was intended to be symbolic, but that didn't make it any easier for boys to understand why they were apologizing for things they hadn't done, according to the Daily Mail. Yeah, I mean, why would you ever? I mean, if somebody said to me, came to me and said you have to apologize, like that video of the lady who was asked to apologize on the street for being white because of BLM. No, I'm not apologizing for that. I didn't do anything to you. You don't like it? Too bad. Go find somebody else to talk to. You're not talking to me anymore. The year 7 students told his mother that boys were told to stand up and say sorry that women are assaulted and intimately assaulted by their gender. He said that he was made to stand up and basically apologize. It wasn't explained properly to the male students what they were doing or why they were doing it. They really should have made more of an effort to notify the parents, Shepard continued. Another parent of a male student complained about the assembly on Facebook post and said, wow, just wow, this is actually disgusting, Brauer College. Not at all impressed that you made my son apologize for something he's never done nor considered doing. Right, why would you apologize for this? Today at Brauer, they made every guy stand up and apologize to every girl for forced intimacy. The male student, I like how they put down here, the S assault here. Women are incapable of doing this. I mean, according to the law in the United States, women are incapable of doing this right here. But they're not incapable of doing this, and they do it all too often and get away with it. A male student who participated in the forced apology said on Snapchat, guys go through as much S as girls do. Yeah, at least, probably more. The principal of Brauer College, Jane Boyle, I wonder if she's a feminist, defended the assembly, although, yep, she is. Defended the assembly, although acknowledging it was inappropriate. Then why did you allow the assembly to happen if it's inappropriate? The assembly included the screening of a video message by Brisbane Boys college captain Mason Black about being proactive in stopping incidents of S assault and harassment, said Boyle in a statement. Let's check out that, see if we can check out that video. And we got the video. Here are some gems from his little talk.
I wish I grew up in Australia where the narrative that 1 in 3 women will be physically or sexually abused at some point in their life wasn't true. But it is.
All right, well, what about the men who are abused in Australia, too? I mean, it's always about the women. We just want to ignore what happens to men all the time.
How can it be that even with all of our money and laws, every day women around our country continue to be abused, raped, psychologically vilified, and denied the basic human rights that most males take for granted?
Can you name some of those basic human rights that males take for granted? I mean, what human rights is it that women don't have in Australia that men do have? I've pulled up lists before on my channel of all of the rights that women have that men don't have. So there's more rights given to women than there are to men. Yet the narrative is always, oh, women don't have the same rights as men. Oh, they're so oppressed. But it's just not true.
I see in the news today that a police commissioner is calling for a sexual consult app as a way to now record consent. I understand the good intention that he is proposing, but has our society degraded so far that in this day and age that we are living in, women have to have an app to say no?
Not an app to say no, it's an app to protect men from being falsely accused. I'm sure that's really what it's going to come out to be.
This rape culture is so deeply ingrained into today's world, and it needs to be addressed.
Where is it? I'm not Australian. I've never been to Australia, so I can't speak to the land down under. Maybe one of my Australian fans can let me know if there is a culture in Australia that says, hey, you should go on out and forcing this onto women. That's the way it should be. I somehow highly doubt it. I'm pretty sure that we all know that it's wrong and that it shouldn't happen. There are some sick people in the world. There's too many sick people in the world, and Australia apparently needs to do a better job of making sure these sick people don't have access to women.
If you have ever objectified a woman based on her looks, talked about females in a misogynistic way, or taken advantage without consent, you are part of the problem.
Okay, well, I mean, talking about people is not anything that's immoral. You can talk about people however you want to. It's called freedom of thought. I know it's a foreign concept to the woke. The woke agenda does not understand it. Objectifying women on their looks, oh my goodness. Human beings never objectify other human beings. Women have never objectified a man or another woman. They've never objectified anybody based on their looks, ever. It's never happened. And then finally, the last one that he mentioned there, when a woman says no, no means no. Stop
being boys. Be human.
Boys are human? I mean, you can't say stop being boys, be men, because, they always are pointing the finger at men saying, hey, men are the ones who are doing this stuff. So bad, they're evil men. But no, being a real man, being able to stand up on your own 2 feet and say, look, I am a man and I'm going to behave in a gentlemanly fashion. That's the difference between being a male and a man. And this has been lost on many, many people in our modern society because men have been demonized. Men are always said to be, the weaker in so many different ways. They're the weaker. The only thing is they're physically stronger, but they're so weak that they have to use their physical strength to do anything that of any consequence. It's not laid out that eloquently for the audience, but that seems to be the general message that's fed to us by the media. Anyway, we're going to move back into the article and finish that off. In retrospect, while well-intended, not recognize that this part of the assembly was inappropriate, Boyle acknowledged. Not every parent was offended by the assembly. They should have been. Every parent should have been outraged. There should have been riots. They should have demanded that the principal step down and the teachers in charge of this assembly step down. One parent wrote on Facebook, my son explained they stood up to apologize, but to stand in support and solidarity. You'll find all schools will be teaching consent over the next year. Brauer won't be the only one. Another mother said her son told her the forced apology was meant to raise awareness. You can raise awareness without forcing people to apologize for something they haven't done. Concerns were raised at a Melbourne school, Wesley College, where people were apparently horrified that male students had taken notice of the appearance of female students and rank them based on their looks. Women do this all of the time. Women rank men on their looks persistently. It's a constant thing. There's plenty of videos where you can see women swiping on dating apps. They don't have enough time to read any of the information. They're swiping so fast. They're just looking at the picture and going, "Yep, I wouldn't date him." And we've already seen the statistics of women when we break down who is going to be more focused on looks and how they perceive looks. Men, it's a nice even bell-shaped curve, and women it's one-sided. Most men they find unattractive. This assembly comes as the Victorian acting premier James Merlino moved to make teaching consent required in all government schools, updating a previous initiative that didn't directly teach consent but focuses on relationships and safety in those intimate relationships. Let's see here. So this is immoral because this is something that should be handled by the families. It's not something this was never taught to me. This was never taught to me in school. This is not taught to me in school. But I figured out on my own, from all the things I was exposed to and my family and everything, that, making sure that people are a willing partner in these sort of situations is paramount. This action was in the wake of former student at Kambala School, Channel Cantos 22, launched a petition in February to demand that Australian schools teach consent to students. She wanted this to be part of the general sex ed curriculum. At Brisbane Boys College, student Mason Black, who was featured in the controversial video shown at Brauer, said that as regards the charges assault at the school, he feels sick and that the narrative needs to change. Okay, I'm not sure what that sentence was all about. For Black, this was personal, he said, because his own mother was subjected to assault when she was a child of 10. Well, she probably didn't even know anything about that and whether or not she should be giving consent. And it would be good at 10 that she didn't know anything about that, but it's horrible that somebody actually did these things to her. Brisbane was named by female students who made claims of assault, harassment, or forced intimacy. It makes me feel sick and it makes me feel embarrassed that our school is featured in the testimonies of young women who are victims of assault, Black said. The directive being pushed by the Victorian government will teach government curriculum on respectful relationships program, and Merlino said that states should make sure that consent was taught properly in schools. The education minister touted the program in a statement, saying that respectful relationships is proven to make a real difference and is recommended of the Royal Commission into Family Video. Really, so this respectful relationships program, how long has it been around? I don't think it's been around long enough for you to actually determine whether or not it's actually had an impact on people having better relationships. We went on to say that this program should be rolled out nationwide. He believes this is an initiative the students want, saying we have to listen to students who say they want and need a greater focus on this issue in the classroom. While he said the teaching of consent would be mandated in all government schools, he said it would be done in an age-appropriate way. No. Like I was saying, this is immoral. You don't force this onto little kids. I had the training, the sexual ed training, when I was in 6th grade. I was 12 years old. Most people in my class, I think, were 11. So you're coming to that age where you're getting to know that stuff, and it's important to understand how the body works. Brauer issued the following statement in response to the controversy. Schools play an important role in the promotion of safety and respect of all students. The discussions in schools around respect towards girls and women are a key part in this vital work. This week at a whole school assembly, Brauer College discussed the topic of respect for women and the importance of bystander behavior and speaking up to report incidents of inappropriate behavior. The assembly included the screening of a video message by Brisbane Boys College captain Mason Black about being proactive in stopping incidents of assault and harassment. As part of this discussion, boys were asked to stand as a symbolic gesture of apology for the behaviors of their gender that have hurt or offended girls and women. What about the behaviors of women that have hurt and offended boys and men? In retrospect, while well-intended, we recognize that this part of the assembly was inappropriate. The whole assembly sounds like it was inappropriate. Wow, you people. Let's see. We got some comments down here. I'm ashamed of this world with lost values. I really fear for the younger generation. Yeah. So, firstly, they assumed these kids' gender to be male. Yep, you're not supposed to do that. That's a big no-no, right? Without asking a thing, just like sexists doing, and after, like, second later, they said all males are commit forced intimacy from birth. make an apology for all women's you have assaulted or something. How nice for them. I think we should give them reward or something. They really deserve this. So by this logic, it doesn't matter whenever they really force this onto some girls, they are still guilty. Well, if you'll still be guilty, why not just do the deed? Yeah, I mean, so you wouldn't be guilty for nothing. Of course, I'm not serious about that. Right, I didn't think you were, but yeah. You failed as a parent if you haven't taught them consent to yourself. Yeah, what a joke. Exactly. This should be taught by parents. When they demand that I, as a man, apologize for what some other man did, I will simply tell them that right now, today, I have had a sudden epiphany and I am a transgender woman, or at least until my next gender-related epiphany. And then I will join them in demanding that men, including transgender men, apologize to me. And then I will have another epiphany. Will realize that I am really a transracial, transgender black woman and demand reparations too. Exactly. There's no reasoning with these people. They just want to do what they want to do. It's fine. It's fine teaching people to have respectful relationships. Let them know. You have to ask for consent. You can't just go around touching people without their consent. Yeah, that's okay. But to force these kids to stand up and apologize for something they haven't done, when they are children especially, these are children. They don't even know necessarily what they're doing is wrong, right? They don't necessarily, if they do know it's wrong, they don't know where the limit is. Whereas adults, we should all be able to say, okay, she doesn't want this, she said no, or he doesn't want this, he said no, and I'm backing away now. That's perfectly reasonable to expect an adult to understand that. With children, you know, they have a little bit more leeway. Not that it's okay, but that children just don't know these things. Anyway, yeah, this is really disgusting. And I will have more videos for you in the near future. Thank you again for stopping by. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Click the bell for notifications so you get those notifications when I make new videos. YouTube does not promote my channel. If you have left a comment on my channel and it's been deleted, it has not been deleted by me. If I delete a comment off of my channel, I will let you know that I have to delete it because YouTube will come after me. I have noticed, you know, other comments are missing. I don't know why they disappear, but YouTube apparently takes them down. So recently somebody that does like to comment on my videos did have a comment removed. I don't know why. Repost the comments if they get removed. Like I said, it's not me taking them down. If I'm going to take it on your video, I will let you know beforehand. I'll send you a little message through YouTube and just be like, hey, I'm going to have to take this down. So that way you know. Anyway, again, thanks for stopping by. I'll talk to you next time.